You order something online, you get it in the mail, you're so excited, you open it up, you try it on or try it out. Something is wrong. What can you do about it? In this video, I'm going to share some tips on how you can be your own advocate. My first tip is to make sure that you are doing the right steps. So for instance, if you order a coffee maker, you want to make sure that you are following the directions on how to put it together, how to operate it. You want to make sure you're doing the right thing. Let's say you ordered a piece of clothing. For me, let me just give you my own personal example. I ordered a zip-up jacket. I ordered it in the mail, got it, was so excited, tried it on, and as I was zipping it up, I realized that the zipper wasn't working. It was one of those zippers where you can open up from the top or open it up from the bottom. So it was a two-way zipper, I guess that's what you call it. And I thought to myself, I better make sure that it's not user error. I want to make sure that I try it several times without forcing it or jamming it, that it is something that the manufacturer did. It isn't something that I'm doing or not doing. The second thing is, after you have determined that you did everything correctly, but there is still something wrong, there's a defect, you reach out to the customer support or customer service department. Usually there is a tab on the website that says customer service. If there isn't, then maybe look at the contact us. Contact us usually provides either an email address or a phone number. For me, I tend to use email because I feel like it's more solid, this communication, because if you made a call and you just get lost, you could get lost in the queue, or there's no voicemail or something, and then you just keep trying to call, and you can't get anyone. So I feel like if you email someone, that gives you a better chance of getting a reply. Sure enough, in about 2 days, I got a reply saying, we received your email. Would you please describe in more detail what the issue is? And if possible, can you provide photos? So the next tip I would give you is to add media. So there is a bunch of ways that you can do it, but they asked for photos. So I took some photos. I tried to make them as descriptive and demonstrative as to what the issue was when I was trying to zip it up or zip it down. I just basically could not put the two heads together and fit it so that it would just go straight in. So there was never any, I couldn't even get to the point of sliding that piece straight into the other piece. I got another email back after I sent the photos, and as I expected, they said the photos are not enough to show what the issue is. Perhaps you can send a video. I thought, okay. And they even added something. They said, you could also bring it to your tailor and see if they could fix it. I thought to myself, first of all, that is not satisfactory to me, because basically I would be bringing it to a tailor, getting it fixed, and spending extra money on something that I was so happy to get a sale on, and here I'm going to spend more money? No. So I politely and courteously said, I don't have a tailor. However, I think that tailor or not, I think anyone trying to just put this jacket on and zip it up or down will know that there's something wrong with the zipper. I try not to be snarky because, you know what, you're trying to get a successful result, right? You're not trying to make anyone feel bad. You're not trying to make anyone feel antagonistic or that you're being aggressive in any way. You just want to communicate human to human, and that gives them a sense of like a personal intention. So I would say use media as a benefit. You can attach photos, a video, and explain it. So this is what I did. I attached a photo and I sent it, hoping that this was going to be more descriptive and specific on what the issue was. As I was waiting for their response. I was starting to panic, thinking, oh no, I spent that much on that jacket. Even though it was on sale, I still feel like money is money, and you want to get your money's worth. And then I thought, okay, let me not panic, because between the time that I sent off my last response with the video to the time that I hear from them, if I'm panicking or worrying about it, what is the sense? What's the point? Because until you get the response, will you know what the response is? And then what if you get a good response? Then you're worrying for nothing. Now, if you get a negative response, that's different, right? So I hear back from them, and their email to me was, we were able to send your video and review the history of everything that you sent us to our managerial department, and they determined that they would like to send you a replacement item as soon as possible. Here is the tracking information. I was really, really, really happy with the result. I just couldn't believe it, because I thought, I've done this before, where I try hard to communicate on a very, personal and also very civilized manner. And I usually get a good response. So there's really just a way that you can present yourself and appeal to the person on the other side, as if they'll understand also how you feel, because if it happened to them, they might feel the same way. And that's what you want to appeal to: their sense of emotion, their sense of, that connection, that this could happen to anyone, it could happen to them even. And what would they like to see as a result? So with this great result, I wanted to share this with you, because you really can advocate for yourself. You shouldn't just chalk it up to a bad purchase or a waste of money. You can just try to reach out, communicate in the best possible way, and see what they might be able to do. Because really, my issue was legitimate, and I really felt at some point between all the communications a little bit frustrated. You know, I felt as if they were trying to make a lot more work for me. And then I realized, well, you know what? They need that. They need more information, because the burden of proof is on the consumer, right? Otherwise, all the companies would go out of business if they just said, oh, there's something wrong with that, we'll send you another one, right? Anyway, I just wanted to share that, because I think that you should just try to talk to someone. Now, I know in this day and age of automation that that's possible, that it's not possible. But you know what? Just try your best, because you never know.